Hello folks, hope you're doing well. Yeah. So, okay. Let's take a look. About a year ago. Well, it's actually a year ago yesterday. That... Ooh. Yeah. A year ago yesterday, I believe it is, that God said, you're ready. Okay. Yeah, and there's been quite a journey since then. Of course, 6 days previous, or 5 days previous, that's when I met Mrs. B. And it was around about a year ago today, therefore, that I first started believing that she was supposed to be my wife. Yeah, a year ago today. Yeah. Yeah. And yesterday, I went for a walk. And I was speaking to God about that situation, about the possibility of a wifey. And, yeah, starting off, being true from what I see, I just said, Father, if you're going to pick a wife for me out of the pool of women that I've seen so far in this area, you got to be kidding. There is no way, shape or form. I don't think that's possible in any way, shape or form. But then I move into the point of saying, well, okay, but I can only see the small picture. You can see the bigger picture. I can't see what you might be doing in the background in the lives of any person, in any individual. So, yeah. In the end, I don't know. I just said to God, but one thing, if I believe it's the same person as I believed this time last year, and if I start to believe that again, I'm going to have to do a lot more dancing, because that's going to be quite a depressive thought. So I'm going to have to bring the joy back up, because, And if I believe it's any woman from any church that I've been in, again, that's going to mean more dancing is needed, because, again, very depressive thinking. But only based upon what I can see or what I've seen. Which has been very, very little, because, again, with regards to Mrs. B, do I know her? No. I don't really. I don't know who she is as a person, because... we never had a conversation. We should have had a conversation. We should have had a number of conversations. It certainly is the case, as I said before. If she has a problem with me where she needs to block me from Facebook, as a worldly person, that's acceptable. As someone who claims to be a daughter of God, no. That's bang out of order. That's not the way you try and solve problems. That's what I'm saying. If God says it's her, so excuse me, are you kidding me? Someone who sees the way of solving problems to just blank that person, not bloody well speak to them. But okay, Father, I have a problem with her, therefore, so if it's supposed to be her, you're out of luck, because I'm going to choose her way of dealing with things. I'm not going to speak to her. Because I have a problem, so I'm just going to blank her. So if she comes knocking at my door at some point this year, next year, whatever, and says, I'm supposed to be your wife, blah, 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 I will just blank her, because obviously that's her way. She's saying that that's a perfect way of dealing with things when you've got a problem with someone. Okay. So I'll do things that way then. Obviously, I'm not being truthful with it, because I won't do things that way, because that's not who I am. That's who she is. Well, that's who she's shown me who she is. And that, no, don't like that in any way, shape or form. That just gets added to all the other things that I don't like. About her characteristics that she's shown me so far. Just add that to it, and that doesn't paint a very nice picture. Okay. Well, basically, as I say, the picture I had of her from last year was that, she came to me, she started speaking to me in church and came to next week because I noticed them playing their, practicing their worship. And she appeared as if she'd been in heaven. She appeared as if she'd been in the presence of God. There was a shimmer to her, that sort of thing. And she looked quite angelic. But everything about that was basically God wanted me to think that she was going to be that she was that woman that I wrote about in 2010. So, okay, yep, all right. But I say, that was enough to get me through that stand. Seeing that was enough to get me through the stand. Would it be enough now? No. No. It was enough to get me through that. But that was really based upon, Father, I'm trusting you. I'm not trusting what I'm seeing, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you that you are capable of turning this situation around. So basically, can God turn that situation around? Yeah. And I don't have any concerns either way. To be honest, no. Well, because look, if I'm going to get married and that woman has the characteristics or the character that God was speaking to me about during the stand and before, yeah, basically from the 25th of September 2021, from that date, because it was actually that date, yeah. Because I went to LL the second time, and that's when God said you're ready, and that's when I thought, okay, for wife. And that's when I accepted love in me for her. And that's when that journey started. So yeah. From what God showed me as to what my marriage would be like, if that's it, then do I care really what the person's name is? No. Do I care particularly if that person has blocked me in the past or been a bit cold towards me? No. Because I think that's very, very typical. Really typical of Christian women. I think it really is. Yeah, there is something a bit typical of that. Certainly a Christian woman who is single. Because, yeah. If a man, especially a man who's single or even not single, starts to sort of be nice to them, they think, oh, it's just because I'm single, it's just because you want to be with me. No, it isn't, sweetheart. Not at all. Being friendly is being friendly. It's got nothing to do with anything else. But there does seem to be a bit of an attitude from what my experience. And that's going back 20 years. Yeah, that I've seen this in different churches. So therefore, generally speaking, is it quite likely that the woman is supposed to be my wife will first of all be a bit cold towards me? Yep. Yep, that's quite likely. Yeah. So I'm not going to take it from there and say, oh, but because of that it can't be. No. I'm expecting that. Yeah. Well, especially if she's not quite ready when we meet. Yeah. Yeah, but as I say, I mean, that's the point. You start off thinking, Father, there's no way, shape or form. Looking at the picture as you can see it, and you realise, well, actually, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the background. I don't know what's going on in that situation, so I can't really say, can I? And that's actually the case pretty much with everybody. It really is. Yeah, we can think that someone is a bit lost and someone is in a bad situation, and there's no point being friends with that person because they're going to suck you dry or something like that. A succubus. Yeah, all your goodness, all your energy, they're just going to take that. Yeah, it can seem that way with people, but we have no idea what God's doing on the background. We have no idea. Yeah, we have no idea. That person could be very, very close to coming out of that. We have no idea. So, yeah. Keep faith in God. Don't worry about what you see in people, because what you see in people can change. What was that? I saw something the other day. Lord of the Rings, and it's Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings something. It's a TV show from Lord of the Rings. It's called The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. That's what it's called. There you go. Well, the latest episode of that, you had a situation where, well, I like it because I like Lord of the Rings, so I thought, okay, it's worth a watch. And the landscapes are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But in that one, Elf, who was still after Saruman, believed that Saruman was still alive, this would have been in between the original fight with elves, dwarfs, men, etc., 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 against Saruman and his forces, where Saruman was defeated before Lord of the Rings, before The Hobbit, and that sort of stuff. This would be the interim time. So this Elfie lady, she believes that that Saruman is still around, and she goes searching for him. She finds a bit of evidence. Then she goes after, but the rest of the elves basically target her because they don't want her going down that path. They don't want that, so they try and basically destroy her ship. So she gets rescued and she gets taken to the land of men, where basically they don't trust her because they used to work with elves in the past, but then they got a bit distrustful of them. In this episode, the human woman, the one who's now sort of queen, she has a sort of a vision that a flood is going to destroy their city. And she believes it's to do with the elf coming. And so she basically sends the elf away. But in their own understanding, they've got an oak tree that has white petals. And when those petals fall, that means that the gods are crying. The petals represent the gods' tears. So at the end of that episode, she had sent the elf lady off, basically telling her to leave their island and don't come back, put them on a ship. But right at the end, you actually show the elf lady coming in, and this queen is going to join with the elf lady to go and help the humans in the Southlands, where the orcs are. And so it looked terrible before then, but a change of wind. All it basically was a change. It could have been a change of wind, or just a sudden gust of wind caused the petals to fall right in the area where the queen was walking. And that's all it could need. Just that change of wind. And a massive decision is overturned and a whole new change of direction happens. But that can happen in life. Yeah, the simplest of things can lead to a massive change. And we've got to understand that can happen in our lives, but also the lives of the people that we're looking at. So we can look at people and we can think that that person is, no, there's no chance. But as I say, what is God doing? Or what is God about to do that's going to completely change that picture? We have no idea. And if we're trusting God, then we just need to keep trusting in God. As I said about the issue of letting people in, I don't let people in based upon the fact that I know I can trust them. I let people in based upon the fact I know I can trust God. And we've got to keep it at that. It's about trusting Him, not about trusting what we see. So there you go. I'm going to leave it to it. I think that's enough. You take care, God bless. Have a fantastic week. And I hope you've had a good day today. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.